What's going on, Jags fans? Welcome to episode 2 of LSUUUVAL. After one episode, we have already undergone a name change. Bayou Jaguar was cool, it was unique, and I liked it. I came up with it. But shout out to Lee on Twitter. He hit me with the LSUUUVAL after my first episode came out, and I fell in love. I said, that's the name. That's perfect for who I am. A Louisiana guy that's a Jags fan. It's perfect. So henceforth, we are LSUUUVAL. So, again, I want to start this episode like I did the last one. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody during this quarantine time with this virus. Stay inside, stay safe. Sooner we do that, everybody working together, we can get back to normal life. Thank you so much to our doctors and nurses for everything you're doing, our healthcare workers. You guys are so greatly appreciated, and my prayers go out to all of you to stay safe. We appreciate you so much. So, I got the request for this episode to do, why are you a Jaguars fan? Which is a question I ask myself most Sundays. But, the story goes back to when I was a little kid. So I get asked all the time, are you from Florida? I'm like, no, I've lived in Louisiana my whole life. Is it because of Leonard Fournette? Because you're an LSU fan? I'm like, no, been a Jags fan since I was a little kid. So what's the story? So when I was growing up, there was no favorite team in my house. There was not that one team that like mom and dad said, this is our team and we're all fans. It was kind of a free-for-all. My dad was a Raiders fan. Mom liked the Saints, which is common. A lot of Saints and Cowboys fans where I'm from. Oldest brother was a Buccaneers fan. And then the middle older brother was a Dolphins fan. Loved Dan Marino. That was his guy. So I was kind of on my own when it came to favorite teams. So when I really got into football, I come from a football family. My dad was a coach for many years. Me and my brothers all played, which will come into the story later on. So when I first got into football, about 6 or 7 years old, I really got into players more than teams. I loved lots of different players on lots of different teams. I love Steve McNair. I know, Titans. I loved John Elway, players like that. So I was really more of a players fan. I didn't really have a favorite team. And then in 99, little kid, I fall in love with this team making this incredible run on this great season with these beautiful teal jerseys. And from that day forward, I was a Jaguars fan. I just was. I just fell in love with them watching them on TV one week. And I was like, that's my team. And I just stuck with them ever since I was, 8 years old. And so they were my squad. And, I've been a Jaguars fan ever since. And once again, now I got to fall in love with players again like I did before, but now on all the same team. I mean, Jimmy Smith is my all-time favorite Jaguar. He's number one on my list. I love Jimmy Smith. Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor, Rashean Mathis, Mike Peterson, MJD, Donovan Darius, who I think is the most underrated Jaguar. I love Donovan Darius. So from 99, to 2007, I'm a diehard Jags fan. Everybody knows it. That's my squad. But then in 2008, something happened. My older brother, the one who was a Dolphins fan when we were young, got drafted into the NFL. So then I'm in a predicament. I was like, okay, do I not change anything, or do I become a fan of my brother's team? And I was told by my brother and by my mom, like, you have to be a fan of your brother's team. It's your brother. He's playing in the NFL. You have to be a fan of his team. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I'll be a fan of his team. And then secretly, I'm still a diehard Jags fan. I just didn't talk about it at family functions. So from 07 to 2013, when my brother is playing, 08 to 2013, when my brother's playing in the league, I am a fan of his favorite team. But I am still secretly a diehard Jacksonville Jaguars fan. Lived and died with them every Sunday. Just didn't talk about it at family functions. Wasn't able to support them the way I had in the past openly because my brother kind of had an issue with me being a fan of another team while he played in the same league. So I was kind of, I was a fan of the teams he played for. It was never fake. I supported the teams he played for. He played for 2 different franchises, and I was a fan of both. But I was a diehard Jaguars fan the entire time, never stopped. From 99 till today, I have never stopped. So I kind of just randomly became a Jaguars fan during 99 when I was a little kid. So my brother hung up his cleats in 2013. He hung it up. He retired. He played a great 5 years in the NFL. We were so proud of him. He had a great career with 2 different teams. And then I was like, okay, so my brother's retiring. He had young kids, and he was ready to move on to what's next. So I remember being like, okay, I'm a Jaguars fan again, all the way 100% openly. I can be a Jaguars fan again. And then what really solidified it was in 2014, I'm sitting at a restaurant with my now wife and my family watching the NFL draft. And in the football season in 2013, I fell in love with this kid at UCF who was slinging the ball, running the ball, Blake Bortles. And, watched him in 2013, fell in love with UCF and the story, fell in love with this player. And I was like, okay, he beats Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl. And I'm like, this dude's legit. And I was like, you know what? I said, whoever drafts Blake Bortles, I'm going to kind of be a fan of that team also. I'm going to root for that team. Even though I'm going to be a diehard Jaguars fan, I'm going to root for whatever team Bortles goes to because it's hard not to love this guy. And then, of course, a sign from God comes with the third pick. The Jaguars select Blake Bortles. And I'm like, okay, that's a sign from God. I am meant to be all the way back in, openly Jaguars. My guy just got drafted there. And, it's on. And I've always been a Jaguars fan. Ever since 99 when I was 8 years old, I have been it for the last 20 years. I have been a diehard Jacksonville Jaguars fan. It happened randomly. I kind of just picked them because, my family didn't have a squad. So I kind of just randomly picked the Jaguars. And I've been with them ever since. I love this team. There's a lot more sad Sundays than there are happy, but, it's whatever to me because, it's my team and I love them. And people ask me all the time, my wife, especially on Sundays, will be like, why don't you just pick a new team? Why do you do this to yourself? And I'm like, I don't know. I love this team. I just do. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm not one to jump on the hot team. I never have been. I never will be. Just for the record, my NFL team, as you know, stinks. My NBA team is decent. They have stunk previously, but they're getting better. My MLB team usually stinks. My hockey team stinks. Used to be really good. Now they stink. So when it comes to fandom, I am loyal. And I will always be a Jaguars fan. Always have been since they were my first favorite team, and they will be my last favorite team. All my really teams kind of stink, which is whatever, except for my college football team, which we all know, shout out to Joey Burrow, does not stink. As you saw this fall, they are very good. So, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what made you a Jaguars fan. Was it geography? Was it the house you grew up in? Or did you come kind of unconventionally to the Jaguars like I did? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter. Follow me at LSUUUVAL, LSUUVAL on Twitter. I'm trying to grow that page also. And subscribe to this channel, LSUUVAL. And let me know what you'd like to see maybe in a future video. Let me know, like I said, how you became a Jags fan in the comments or on Twitter. I love, linking up with Jaguars fans, all of them. People hate on our fan base, but I think we have a pretty great one. The group of people that I communicate most with on Twitter, Jaguars fans are awesome. Love communicating them. UCF Jaguar, Dilla, people like that. Love, talking with those guys. So, hit me up. I'll be back on Thursday. I'm going to do another pre-draft video since we're going to be 1 week away from the first round on Thursday. I'm going to talk what I would do at pick 20. And I'm going to talk trades for pick 9 and possibly pick 20. Trades is going to be the main focus of Thursday's episode. So if you have any questions or anything you want me to address via trade or anything like that, or what I would do with these picks, comment on this video or hit me up on Twitter at LSUUVAL or on my personal page, which most of you already follow. And let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them on here. Appreciate you guys watching. Please follow on Twitter and subscribe. And as always, go Jags.